Hey gang, it's Throwback Thursday. Let's see some throwback videos. Throwback Thursday, and I have a story for you from the Denver Post. It's a story that comes out of Colorado Springs. It's by Saja Hindi of the Denver Post. Thank you, Saja Hindi, for this story from the Denver Post. And somebody accused me the other day of just reading other people's news. Well, I'm giving you an editorial on a news story. I'm giving credit. I try to give credit as much as I can. I try to remember that. Sometimes I forget, but this one's going to piss you off. This one's really going to piss you off. And as always, I'm going to post a link to the story in the description box below. There is a video in that link. I watched the video. I even did pause play, and slow mode the video. I'm appalled, man. Now, it may be difficult for some viewers to watch. I don't know, man. Pikes Peak and Eric Brandt, you guys may have your work cut out for you on this one. We may need some information from you guys. Get down there and find out for us since you're over there. But the father, I'm always calling people out to go do stuff, right? Excuse me, I'm sorry. You know I need my coffee in the morning, right? Or I cough. But we're going there where the father of a 19-year-old man shot and killed by Colorado Springs police last week says a surveillance video clearly shows his son was shot in the back while running, and he wants justice. Devon Bailey, 19, was shot by at least one Colorado Springs police officer Saturday in the 2400 block of East Fountain Boulevard when police were responding to a report of a personal robbery, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office said Sunday. Now, the person who reported being robbed identified two suspects, and one of the suspects, Devon Bailey, allegedly reached for a gun before police shot him, according to the Sheriff's Office. Police said they recovered a gun at the scene. I want to go through a couple things real quick here, as quickly as I can. If Davon Bailey robbed somebody, if he's guilty of that, if he did it, he doesn't get a pass for that crime. I'm not going to say, oh, this was an innocent man and he was running away. If he did it, it's a guy who robbed somebody. Okay? So he's a criminal. However, criminals who rob somebody don't deserve to get shot in the back while running away from the police, by the police. You are not executioners. You are law enforcement officers. Your job is to capture, arrest, take in, and have the DA bring charges. Now, it says that police recovered a gun at the scene. If you watch the video, he's running away, throws his arms out. I can't really see if he's holding a gun. It doesn't look like it. It just looks like hands. But it's kind of hard. He's far away in the video. However, one of the cops runs up and drops something black. I don't know if it was a glove or a gun. I'm not going to say it was a gun because then he starts putting on gloves. So he could have dropped his gloves and then started putting them on. But it's real interesting how something black falls to the ground. I don't know. And I don't know that they knew there's a video on that apartment building or whatever that building, a business or whatever the building is here. I'm looking at the video right now, the video picture. I don't believe the police knew that there was a camera there. This is interesting. Moving on, Bailey was transported to a hospital where police said he later died of his injuries. The two Colorado Springs police officers involved in the shooting, who have not been publicly identified, are on administrative leave per protocol. The shooting of the black man by white police officers has spurred protests in Colorado Springs, and on Monday, two bail bondsmen were arrested after they were accused of drawing guns during a fight with protesters, according to the Associated Press. Now, the Colorado Springs Council for Justice, an organizer of the protest, called for a thorough and unbiased investigation into Bailey's shooting that will hold those involved accountable. That's why we record you, police officers and sheriffs and deputies and law enforcement and all those, because we're holding you accountable. You say, well, who gave you that job? My conscience, my soul, and the fact that I pay taxes for law enforcement officers to protect and serve, not to shoot and kill. And I'm not talking about if somebody aims a gun at you. We're talking about a young man that was running away and threw his arms out to his side. You can see it in the video. The group also asked the city and police department to ensure these types of shootings don't occur again by implementing de-escalation training within 3 months and repeating it on an annual basis. That doesn't work. I'm telling you, de-escalation training and social media training and this training and that training and the other training doesn't work. Cops still get out there and do what they want to do. In fact, didn't one police officer, if you watch the News Now Houston interrogation, interview, whatever it was, that's an hour long, didn't one of the police officers say, update training is so boring? Didn't he say that? I caught that when he said it. For those of you who've seen that video. At Colorado Springs, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I can't help it. The Colorado Springs Council for Justice was quoted as saying in a statement, "At Colorado Springs Council for Justice, we have witnessed countless officer-involved shootings around the country, and we have stood in solidarity with those communities in their fight for justice. On Saturday night, we learned that our community is not immune. As eyewitness reports came out, we heard that Davon Bailey was running from the officer, and was not reaching for a firearm. That was confirmed today with the release of the video." The statement added that activists will not accept hopelessness and the status quo as an answer. Davon Bailey's father, Greg Bailey, said authorities have refused to talk to him or provide him with any documentation. In fact, the police told him his son was not at the hospital after the shooting and that Davon Bailey's mother released his body to the coroner. But his mom lives in Georgia. And of course, he talks about not being able to see Davon until Tuesday at the funeral home. They wouldn't let him identify the body. They had a John Doe tag on him in the morgue. Now, the coroner has not yet released an official cause and manner of death. He was shot. That's how he died. The 19-year-old's family released the footage from a nearby apartment complex to the Denver Post on Wednesday. The footage was first obtained by the Colorado Springs Gazette. His father says, Greg Bailey, quote, "Everyone has watched it, and even people that were in disbelief that police killed my son and shot my son in the back are now all of a sudden believers. It's real." Jumping down, the story is kind of lengthy. If you want to read it, again, it's in the description box. I want to jump down here. Greg Bailey talks for quite a bit here. That's the father of Davon Bailey. But we're moving down here to where El Paso County Sheriff's Office, which is investigating the shooting, declined to comment on the video or release any additional information about the shooting Wednesday. Spokeswoman Natalie Sosa said it is still an active investigation and she could not provide a timeline on when more information would be available. Well, they've got to justify these cops shooting. What are we going to do? I don't know. Let's find out. There's a video out there. I know. Colorado Springs Police Department spokesman Lieutenant Jim Sokolik said the two officers were wearing body cameras, but the footage can't be released until the investigation concludes. Well, yeah, because you got to go, let's see if there's anything that could be harmful to this to us. They're not releasing the body cam footage. Well, guess what? We got the apartment complex footage. We saw what happened. Colorado Springs Mayor John Suthers asked for patience in a statement Wednesday that noted concerns about Davon Bailey's shooting. Suthers said, quote, "We know that there can be frustration with the time this takes, but we cannot compromise the investigation by failing to spend the appropriate time gathering the facts that would serve no one." After the conclusion of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office investigation, the district attorney can decide whether to bring charges against the officers or allow a grand jury to make that call. They're going to go grand jury. Watch, they're going to go grand jury, and they're not going to indict. Davon Bailey was out on bond at the time of the shooting in connection to charges on April 8th alleging on 3 felony counts, including attempted sexual assault on a child by someone in a position of trust, according to El Paso County District court records. He pleaded not guilty, and a jury trial was scheduled for January 7th, court records show. You see it in the video. It's plain as day. Even if he had a gun, he wasn't pointing it at you guys. He didn't turn towards you. He was running away with his hands out to his sides. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is a bad one here. This is why we record the police. What if their body cams, all of a sudden they said, well, the footage has been, somehow the data is corrupted and we cannot pull the footage. It's the computer has corrupted the data and we're not able to view the footage. What if that happened? What if their body cameras somehow got turned off in the middle of this incident? However, there's a video from an apartment complex. Always record the police, guys. Your video just might tell the truth. News Now Yucaipa telling you guys the truth about what's going on with law enforcement across your nation. And today we're in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Thank you. Have a great Throwback Thursday. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, but I'm still going to try to have an editorial for you at some point in the day, hopefully in the morning. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your week.